Well, the sunshine we have already got going. The beers, that's up to you. There's Darius Rucker at Kicks Country 92.9. Number one for New Country. 9:29, and it's about this time on Wednesdays that we have our Ask the Lawyer segment in which we get an answer to your question. A question submitted by you. If you don't know how to submit a question, I'll be sure to tell you about that coming up. And it all comes courtesy of Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured, as he lends his 50 years of expertise to some challenging questions and situations sometimes. Let's see what he thinks of today's as we welcome Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured at Kicks Country 92.9. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Todd. How are you doing this morning?
Doing fine. How about you?
Hey, I know why we have all these people down here visiting. The weather couldn't be nicer.
This is the stuff that people flock here for. It's sunny, it's warm, maybe a little on the sticky side, but generally you're right. This is Chamber of Commerce stuff.
Yeah, I welcome all our northern visitors.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everybody doing well in the family and at the office?
Yeah, everybody's doing well. We're
okay.
Just waiting for this pandemic to subside a little bit.
Well, there's baby steps happening. At least we can say that. And if we stay safe, keep being smart about things, we're going to make it.
I agree.
Well, let's see what you think of today's question. It's a little complicated, a few twists and turns. When aren't there? In your profession, you've seen them and you've heard them all. So if you're ready, I'll get right into it.
I'm ready, Todd.
Okay. Today's question says the following. My best friend was riding his bicycle to work the other day, and a guy driving a van sideswiped him, causing him to crash. The police came and ticketed the driver for reckless driving. My best friend was taken by ambulance to the hospital with severe injuries. His leg was crushed and will need multiple surgeries, and he may not be able to walk for quite a while. The driver of the van had minimum insurance. The van was owned by a plumbing supply company, but apparently the driver had just been fired and was told to take his tools home and return the van. This is what I mean by complicated. The company is claiming they are not responsible for his actions because he was no longer an employee. Can a lawyer help? I always know the answer to that one question, if nothing else. Yes. And Bruce, I think you can probably handle the rest.
Well, as you said, Todd, a lawyer could absolutely help. And it's an interesting factual pattern because it all revolves around whether the driver of the van had permission to use the van under our dangerous instrumentality law.
Okay.
And at first blush, you would think, well, he doesn't have authority to use the van because he was fired.
Right.
But they told him, hey, take your tools home and return the van. So that's what he was doing. So he had to have permission to use the van. So the plumbing supply company is responsible because he was an authorized driver of the van.
I see. So in order for them to avoid having responsibility, they'd almost literally have to say he stole the vehicle.
Well, they would have to say, hey, listen, leave the van there. We'll send someone to pick it up. Don't ever drive it again.
Then they would have been okay. Yeah. All right.
Then they would have been okay. But they've been, hey, take your tools home, bring the van back to the shop. So at any time before he got back to the shop, they would be responsible for him using the van.
All right. I don't know if them saying they're not responsible because he wasn't officially an employee is a dodge or a dive to kind of get away from responsibility, or if they genuinely believe that. But either way, there's enough twists and turns, as I said, in this situation. You really do need a professional on your side.
Absolutely.
All right. And when it comes to bicycles, I also wanted to point this out. You're often referred to as the biker's lawyer, and typically we think of motorcycles, but bicycle cases, that's something you're no stranger to as well.
Yeah, and it's really a shame because I think I've told you this before, but I never let my son drive a bicycle out on the street because motorists just don't honor bicycles. They don't pay attention to bicycles. They don't see bicycles.
Right.
And even you could be a bicyclist and be the safest driver in the world, but when a car isn't paying attention, you're in trouble.
Very true, and that's something that holds true for motorcycles and bicyclists. So you definitely want a lawyer with experience in this kind of a case. Bruce, thanks again for sharing your many years of expertise and experience, and please say hi to the family for all of us here at Kicks Country.
Thank you very much, Tyler. Looking forward to speaking to you next Wednesday.
Absolutely. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured, with the answer to a very thorny issue this week. Now, if you'd like to submit a question, you can do so through our website. Maybe you'll be on next week at kickscountry929.com. KIXcountry929.com. If you have a more immediate and pressing legal need, you might not want to wait for that. I wouldn't blame you one bit. Here's what you do. Call the Port Charlotte office of Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates. The number's 941-743-7777. Free consultations are available for your specific situation, so you have some at least sense of direction and maybe even a sense of peace. 941-743-7777. And tell them that Todd sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.